around 120 people, comprising of elders, youth, and women, from 8 different ethnic groups in Moyale, Al Yusra Hotel. And that is where I explained myself, and I made a humble request for Moyale community to allow me to proceed ahead with my candidature. That was the very, very first day. And in the Gostifa, Yohani, Boram, Kesa, Kore, Yohama, Retane, Guyo Karatu, community Satate, Tamoyale Kubatu, Gayame, community Surini, Gochiti, Tamila, the Tenagavate, Moyal Kesate, Gochisu Magam Moyale. Gos Moyale. Gochisu Chuftar Kekubat. You are the Tankoba Kore, Sunkoba Kore, Tanafandi Biedeni, Talia Fandi Biedeni, intact what this would Wawal Soba. And they did. What I came to find out, there are people from down Kenya, the way they call themselves, who really, for the first time, we were recognized as part and parcel of the community in this county, and we were called to make some political decision, and that has never happened. So, leadership Barbadu, it's to integrate, unite people, and make them one thing. The moment you miss that step, then there's nothing much. Secondly, to me, what I can say is that in terms of professionalism and maybe my trials in life and my hustles, I'm a hustler. Hustler Tohani maybe is a government hustler, if there's a term like that. I hustled my life and no one can assist you, let me tell you. The moment you are off the hook from Milo Jirede, they will never assist you. You will just hustle on your own and plan for your growth and for your development. I did that. Karuani toko. Yo isandure juani sanarabe humaltan talk. Anini, I can easily say mimi ni kijana ya huku ndani mtaa hii Moyale. I'm not from anywhere. I was in Butiye Primary School. I was in Moyale Boys. Then I came back and I was teaching Moyale Boys. So I'm in Moyale. Taonkana, Veta Gafke na kutin anon jarani. Haga rana ribeta kona isa. I heard it. And during that time, when you go city ka abarsa bulletin jir, and this go city thing is business for some other people. That's what we. I came to find out, for example, Siba was a Burji. Abdul Karim Nur Mumin is not a Borana. We were playing football together, from Manyata Burji all the way to Sesi, and Wango City, Nubadae, Bit Gosakanati, Kule Gosakanati, Era Male, we were one as Moyale people. And I think that should be the spirit which must be nurtured and promoted. So, and in Arma College, I went to Egerton University, and I went to JK for other degrees. And then I was recruited by JK I started from an assistant lecturer. I went to a lecturer, I went to a senior lecturer, I went to a professorship. And it will be very hard to explain what a professor means. Politicians in Makan, some of them they may not understand. I don't like explaining or dwelling on personality, but like our current governor, Bibi Hagan Gau, governor can poor service delivery wanisi tatefi. This guy has never worked in any formal environment. certificate argate kan graduate MP moyale barbadu de picha galala. He was a very young boy and he's looking at leadership as well as a job. When we musharaka is argatanuma bunge moyale, and he never, right now we interact with very many county staffs here. One of the biggest problems with our governor, His Excellency Abshiro, meeting Rufa, paper can come, kalamu can come, meeting in or the Chairman can some good you start with a word of what? Prayer, our last meeting, where did we? Is there any matters arising? What is our agenda today? We exhaust our agenda and then the meeting will be adjourned to later what date? Any problem? So how can you even start the talk itself? So he dashed out. This is because of lack of what? Experience in formal environment. And then he makes the entire county administration to the core. And by saying that, I have all the evidence. As it is right now, it can go on the record with the media. I am consultant on governance with Ministry of Devolution, and I oversee performance of 47 counties in this country. So awankana durukara ujia jade ujia kakao jade amalimu moyale voice tae de professor tae sujalani. I'm a consultant and international consultant with World Bank, and I participated in restructuring civil service in 5 governments in Africa. So I have that experience. Uji barbada ede da ke biya kurana da ede wani dande da ke se de ke satin du an bi ti ara tomat. So that is very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Duba achiga chana kar platform kana hindi tadigalatoma where we can discuss issues and agendas with our mind without being, influenced or some sort of funny incentive, politicians in the market. I have my agenda, I have my manifesto, which will be launched. But in my manifesto, I have 5 plans. And all these plans, it's not coming from my head, it is coming from the feedback I collected from the citizens of Marsabit County. I was recording and everything is just fitting into the 5 plans in my manifesto. Marsabit County has a crisis. Gavkara, in my thinking, it wasn't number 1 agenda, but it is almost now becoming number 1 agenda by all means. And that is the agenda of peace and security. We are not politicking just for the purpose of politicking. Security is the mandate of national government. There is a difference between peace and security. Peace ni amani. And peace is the mandate of what? Our leaders and our own selves. Waniwa national government iti akana fuma tiyangi fa ite liftente as a leader haga demte bi it barbate bi walti inga kufte inga taniti nagasunga buft. It's very unfortunate. Moyale gaf is a chat. The same personality who is called a governor now. Marsabit has been peaceful environment all through from the time immemorial. That town is totally deserted with over 80% of the occupants internally displaced. What sort of legacy is that? Kawani aganga jirtu hincheru kuraba badu de mamalebe sekawa. You see, and I think if these are the kind of things or the ideas which we buy, then it's very, very unfortunate. But I tried many times to have a rally and a talk with people in Sabo. January ma organize it actually nuchufa Gabri Jesani, Borani Jesani. Like 2 weeks ago, when we had our rally, which has been announced over some radio, local FM radios, Fula wanja nututochi nkanchu kufanika huwe anani wanda anambega. Then interestingly, look at the conflict between Gabra and Borana. The conflict between Gabra and Borana. I would like to take this opportunity to bring to your attention that we need to think twice. I came across a rental house of a friend in Isiolo. Rental house kana Gabra Marsabiti Bakatefi, Bora Marsabiti Bakateti, Walinitgal. So we visited a friend there at Chumtetenuleni. We observed what is going on. Warun Sahu Walimbaga, rental house ka Ramiju, Gabr, Boran. These people are interacting, they are friends. Ufuma ijole fame me urbatika sumbisa nani ke nani nami Borana Gabranje. Didunkan chisani sagale abatani tijinimbicha ne ijole ya school anagal nani manta walinyatan. That's very interesting. We had a delegation to the State House recently. I met with some Gabra guys. Wanata sanamihan namjarsati. Yo nami Gabradu kaborana imboaf. Wari Marsabiti. Yo nam borana gabarti ijeftu. Gabarti ijeftu tibenu. Yo nam borana ijesani. Gabarti manta. Imbotif. Wanaskia fibaya. And they moved together. You know. What is it exactly? Wari walanu jirkuni ni. Wari ma walibo. Wari esa walumana malle gachae na nyuki ta Nairobi ta Isiolo ta chufu walumanu fuma chizakat. Enemies you walinta undandeti. Indande yo walijip in that hatred. No walinta undande. No walinta kachu undande. Wari esa waliboe waluijeze waliboe. That is a fallacy. There must be somebody who is doing a business of bringing this conflict, and they are benefiting out of this conflict. Unfortunately, we have the intelligence on the ground, but I don't know why the government is not acting on this. Then, another funny pattern is that Garana Boran Anjedani in equal measure, Gabrale Ayuda, there is that quadratic equation somebody is trying to balance. Are we stupid? We are not. Gabra Borani, wow, Walira Kabinka, Banaki yet. Anaka Roja in Bora de Sanitini Matini, Anaga Brana Vehundandit. Man, Akumtakajist, Chufisi. I think people should not joke with our mind. I would like you to think twice about this conflict in Marsabit. Gabra and Borana, we are peaceful people. We cannot live without each other. This issue of balancing of quadratic equation must stop. It must stop because it's not genuine. You know, many times, I don't know whether you people remember, you people are young, you may not. There was a time a former president in America, Bill Clinton, was implicated with a sexual scandal with a lady called Monica Lewinsky, who was working in the Oval Office. You remember that? Maybe you have read that. Eh? When that became a lot of pressure, it created a lot of pressure on Clinton, and Americans started hating Clinton. How can we divert attention? Americans bombed Shabab factory in Sudan, which is ideally a medical factory, pharmaceutical factory manufacturing what? Drugs. And they are saying, no, this must be what? An Al-Qaeda people, you know, it's connected to Al-Qaeda. So, wa Monica Lewinsky attention in I think politics here, attention divert to Imale, there are some funny things which is going on in Marsabit. The best way for me, my agenda, how can I achieve this, is to bring these two communities together. Communities in Tentun, Tarke, Tunchufa, Burji na Bagadaga, Boradi a Bagadaga, Gabarti a Bagadaga, Garini, Ugaskapti. You know that kingdom? What is it called? Ugaski, is it? Yes, we have leaders. These are spiritual leaders whom we respect very much. Your work in Lufte under the banner of these gathers. Borana Gada cannot complete its ritual without Gabra being seated there. The same case is happening with Gabra. They cannot complete their ritual without what? A Borana, a Bagada being part and parcel of it. You know, and we respect their leadership. So they can end this conflict. We can bring people together. There is no need as to why issues of conflict in Marsabit district is discussed in Meru or Tanarifa or Isiolo. It can be discussed right where? Here. Your Ibn Kabane, Butiye discuss, they are just next year. Sololo discuss. Issues of our county can be discussed right here. You are more hoteli na limki at Gesite hoteli, Mare at Gesite in Diete. You are not helping us in any way. Adini, apart from this, number 2 agenda was mentioned by, I think, the second speaker. It's about water. In Kenya, the largest water reservoir in Kenya is in Marsabit County. And that's where Kenya, in its development strategy, is looking at Marsabit County as the next frontier for what? Water reservoir. Supplying the entire world, the entire country. Kabijitite na moma ke in his 100-day agenda, Abshironga Baye, you know, this guy is very funny. Eh? In 100 days, we will going to provide water, you know. That is the kind of thing which is all over during his inauguration. Right now, there is a lot of cartels, water cartels, which are using county government resources or logistics to sell water to our poor people. Bisani Jirani, Akinire Fuel, it is just 7 kilometers here. Maaf Dirikuni developed that up. Ajili Bisani. I have a lot of pain about water. Why? The last 25 years, when I was in Form 1 in Moyale Boys Secondary School, I was using wheelbarrow to ferry water. We had a lot of water problems. 25 to 30 years down the line, the situation has worsened by more than what? 10 to 20 times again. Don't we have a leader? No. For me, my plan is this. I can explain myself. What we require, there is a naturally made mega dam. Scenery it is just a matter of having other primary and secondary schools shifted a bit, and then you close that place. It's a naturally built mega dam. 1 mega dam is enough to supply the entire of what? Moyale. Perhaps we require a mega dam in Sololo, which is having a lot of what? Surface runoff. We require the same in Marsabit. We require one in Laisamis sub-county. And then perhaps, I don't know, but I was advised by engineers whom I consulted that Nodor sub-county having a mega dam is a bit difficult because it's a desert. But the groundwater is available, and those people are scattered all over. There is no need as to why you contract this issue of water. Why don't you buy those engines? It costs roughly around 22 million. One vehicle with the entire set of what? The drilling machine. You can have one for each sub-county. And tell the people in water department, can you move? And let's have, your target clearly set. That is something that can be achieved within even 1 year. For me, wani beta nagabu ya crisis in Lufte. My main, the mega, the project for me is water. Marsabit require water. Without water, there's nowhere we can move. There's no development that can take place. And if I achieve within the 5 years water, I will go back to JK Water again and continue with my work because I have contributed to what? To my community. That is one of the biggest blueprint and the vision which I have for Marsabit County, which is water. Number three, of course, infrastructural development and service delivery across the board to our hospital, in Jiro, Namif Mark, Sareo Baujir, Karanoma development in Jir, Wa Kawaida, Kaug, Namit Tochu Male, Kaisinu, Kawaida as part of service delivery. That one is something which I am going to fund and the logistics can be put in place. Number 4 is now the agenda of today, the youth empowerment. Youth empowerment here, Sirbatat. Youth empowerment here, Chubu politicians sitat. Politicians in Chufte youth empowerment. Ask them next time, can you define what youth empowerment is? They cannot even define, leave alone explaining how that can be done. They cannot even define it. Now, you say youth empowerment, and I need to explain it, but I'm happy the caliber of people here are people who can yarati money. Majority of you have finished your university, others are in college and the like, is it? So you are adequately, youth and non-knowledge, they are like their mother, quite a number of you are married, and you know and you understand your needs. Youth empowerment, youth empowerment, which empowerment? It's an youth ambassador, is an appointment. 3% budget and you very empowerment temple. And I can see very desperate faces of jobless youths. And this is important part of our economy. It can be done, okay? But I wanted to do this. And in my area is governance, HR, and knowledge management. That's where my professorial status reflects. One priority in Marsabit County, beta namoja ni fayad absaga rima sima indi disafaya ni garte at ofto ke sabusa dinjera ni Marsabit County government ni di disumala akiti disabila ka. Right now we have corrupted system of public service board. Aki ujinam korani akwa kile kubinkamne akisirkali Kenya kubinkamne akwa nina meda yuto kole kubinkam public service body. In fact, as it is right now, I understand besele rakutani it's just a toothless bulldog. Omale ojachu tinje na michi bese kumana kate armambaye artimbaye na madishing touch, you know. Wanika raka tochu malani. And I know it is a very difficult process. It is what is called rationalization of civil service. Rationalizing to do what? To cut the wage bill and reconstruct everything. Nama kami to jikejir, what qualification kami to jikejir. Abshironi, director mani gabai, director layasoni tie, namid alkajira. You will see a Borana who is a director at job group S, for example, and the level of education is certificate in IT. Okay? Aye na amburji wakenu feda na amburji koko barbada kule ni sujusi simani ya nima si water fire ni achikani. Ameka hiyo atlalto diploma printing ni faga. That's nothing to do with what job group. Nam certificate Kabuti is a boss seated as a director in an office, and somebody with a master's degree is working under him as a clerk. This guy doesn't understand anything. And politics is tangeshu tinju. You understand yourselves. That is the kind of the public service or the civil service operating in this county. Ijole ujiporan, uji injir, non-existing. Contract 1 year si kenani verbal contract. Ben yo jarsi full case du beta india kana ben intalat ka edani achite no salary. You at completed in it kani waniru jisadita fe jisadin kambasa lak upiasi orra edani ma ji sagalan kanchu finaenda sare. Mshahara sudesde. Akasu donje tawandi, you know. So there is need for proper rationalization of civil service. It should be cleaned, and then yo akbanu dankale henu fe gosisa yohani burji henne yohan gari hennele kangari henno jadani. I want CEC of water. Gari one santata nimbeta. I want somebody with BSc in environment and water engineering. Namakasiga kena. Yo atete. I know balancing of politics also. Go city ingertanity. But atena mumagar tufutema case moved. That is what is happening in Marsabit currently. People have lost the motivation, the mood. Offices are not operational. Garin chuf laejate infrastructure and public service ita Marsabit chuf it is dead. There's nothing ideally. People are not reporting to job. People are not reporting to work. So when we clean this, that's the time when we can have people to reapply fresh. But that is something very small. Ujidiko toksuni kanam yudi akasisan ora. My grand strategy and plan is this. This empowerment must come through entrepreneurial training, funding, and incentive. Tunakam adunya arwane kakaba. Right now, research shows 78% of the economy of any country is being controlled by enterprise development. Beshara. And I'm very sure, I'm happy, and congratulations. Jabitenta Burjituni, they are doing very, very well. And they are wealthy because of what? Beshara. That's where people can get things. Beshara that in Diziatete, Wilbaro Kesa. No. There's a lot of other professional business which can be done. But we lack skills, and we have opportunities from World Bank. At a base accounting and Tumi, we have many friends whom we can call to come and fund so that youths can be trained from each and every ward. For example, if we pick 100 youths, you train them on small business skills. You train them on how they can balance the accounts and the like. Am I getting any profit? Once they graduate, it's a training for 2 weeks. Then you can now tell them to take a loan. Let's say 100,000. Give them a loan. Then give them time. I will give you time of 3 months. Within 3 months, is there any growth in your business? Are you registering any meaningful profit? If you do, then we can give you an incentive of waiving the entire loan. That can be budgeted and put clearly in the county county resources. Yo aranam iputoko armafun, kanam iputoko achifun. Business idea is yours. It is none of our business. I would like to open a cyber cafe, well and fine, provided it makes profit. I would like to have we are a group, like for example, this is a youth group. We would like to come up with a computer training college. It is yours. Banada, we will going to fund it. Is it making impact? Is it making profit? If it makes profit, we can waiver again by use of vote incentive. That is how we can create employment and wealth. The language is job creation and job and wealth creation. It is doable. No such training has ever taken place. There are no loan or something like a bursary or an incentive in Danda. You see? So when you kasi toko leni, when you guma toko kajira in Jir. And finally, my agenda is on pastoral economy. Laftiteni, lafwarori kenja. Economy teni, it depends mainly on this. Arrak namita ya yugartan, nami in Jir, bijitite in Jir. Kagal kap gali agar galche, kalong kabia rapopani, karega, you know, people are in a lot of problems. Let me just give you a very simple example. Bokaya robuans. Bokauja ni robu. Lafti manta. Maraba. Kananiti. Margana. There is no way we preserve and harvest. Maria kanma kubate bata. Ingatani. Yo bokaro. Warto ko isa namin Nairobi kay jirtani. Warto ka scrap metals guru. Ijole chocolate ka scrap metals guru. Scrap metals undate collectite. Then manto cha. Kilo be money base manto cha. Like for example, I'm not saying that's for you. That's the pastoral economy. If our unskilled people, for example, we come up with a big, storage or silos or something like that. Go and harvest what? Those grass. The compound is open. You harvest your grass and by kilo, we pay you. Is that not employment? You go and store the what? The grass. And let it be continuous. Anyone who is interested, you just go harvest and bring it. We pay you. You go away. Guyo lafti bonaman tatamo. Immediately thank you. Am mapshiro fani contract biya ken nanjedani. Guyo edani. Wani miwa garte. Akwa lo miwa nyachu dandani. Achiga fani tini. Namichu fuka wari moyale wari Marsabit kasololo chuf dide waniga matani kai. Something which does not even have any nutritional value. But marketing, animal marketing is very important. We don't have facilities for that. You see, value addition. We can have those abattoirs and slaughters ourselves and have a factory to pack it ourselves. Yo is some county alternate. Look at, for example, counties like in Kamba. There are how many counties? 3. You have Machakos, Kituya, and Makueni. Wari Wakamba onini, Wari Akmale Maskina Warkanduri. Yada geta siaka badala hamat nyate guyatu for bad. But it was through the initiative of their leaders to turn their semi-arid area into a very fertile land by doing what? By planting fruits. Maembe, machungwa, bisani, ufanifi, irrigatani. Today, the Kamba community, the economy is very high. Like in Makueni, when you go, Makueni has already constructed a factory for what? Fruit juice. Maembe warale akumaga demte kara rambita. They don't allow that. They process and pack their own fruits, and they are now looking for what? External, export what? Market. Very simple. And those people are earning a lot of money from there. It is as simple as that. Lafte karamuki timbao. Manyata burti hapa ukienda nilisikia kuna avocado. Am I right? Imbali lafte wanka. There are very many ways which we can, So, county government, this devolution has really worked, and devolution has improved our people. Devolution has improved our people in Kenya, and people have benefited. Youths have gotten the required wealth and the jobs, and it has changed people's life. Nuamo hakarale manta inankane maskinta. Wani akana tifi akinu leadership ten chagwanu akmale makosa kap. Makosa sunini warnu chagu neniti nuka. Makosa namika be nuka. I'm sorry to say that. For example, where's our women rep? Where is Hon Safia? Met in Tatisuni. Egichagwa nagartanisa. Akami kesent personality nakana akami chagwani kesent. We don't know where she is. You see? So, mambo naman tani, me yole tan lama wal tilala idani kanani ti kana ebis. Marchire nat tambo chirani na kenani. I told them no. That's when they do deep come nufu yukara wana kana hanan deep. Nambe ta very wiki. Nama do graduate certificate in Argatin David in Kura Barbada na beside every years when he was a member of parliament, our current governor. He messed us right now. Nama lalumal, Kaliba nama lalumal. Namikunu jibuta lalumal. Abshiro became a governor without manifesto. It never happened. Then he did another one that told you, and I had Isalile Refuera guy. Wagi si kenina na jeta. Yo wagi na kenne fudade galan. Maham sani ka debigan. Wagi isani na akinina niti. Nami akamale feru UN isal because of service delivery. Yo waga lekaratani. Wag wanga man nuhe neda. Wag good leader man nuhe neda. Jaminte taborana unfortunately Guyo karab shiro irkani. Reason irkani fi maidani walga fatani nam barbadu dandaa ena. Nufans gari ni bese hakna na nage gari ni uruf beno. Ammo barbada chu dandaa ena. Akara yue ore ha barbada chu dandao. Unammo barbada chu dandaa ena ni manta areka itkennan barbadate argate. Argate na manta hai. Alipisa kiti ko. Biju la fatta be manta hai. Kesa kitabat. So wadi kara isa barbada chu buta tanaf ke ninefi maafte ne abshiro hana hala naka karmu. We must change ourselves. Yo nufi bedelini yo atina abshiro karra yo atina karra yusu ni tufagarte. Yo wario Guyo digalu atindi na digalu tanaf na support ite. Yo atina mdibi garri akgarri sunilalte. Kaham burji ak burji sunita lalte. Then we cannot make any progress. Go city halakimnu, it doesn't work. Go chitante, nam sibire jesi sikar kartalla. Go chitante, nam isawalini. Abshiro nam goska. Jarole to kya kartani yu, ijolle prado nam ke tatai ka kabdu fiu to kya yu kartani yu. Go chi isa sun, isa mala fakki sandi isre. Sadichu nuchu fabshiro jarre ni thi. Ma lafan nudi isre, lafan biji dise, Marsabit county lafan dise, ingatani thi. What the cut of fudate you started operating with that? We have to think twice. Nam skills namalala, nama capability, competency namalala. See how this person can express their plan and what they have for you, and then after that you can make decision. I have a reservation of one name, and I don't feel nice when I'm called Mheshimiwa. Honorables and His Excellencies can only happen after you are duly elected. Anufi Mheshimiwa le dani jedina. Mheshimiwa ti ya barbada de anu professor nanjeda, gafa narga dmanam Mheshimiwa nanjeda. Namgari wanifu furaisheti na case or yari Mheshimiwa yadani, they cannot even think beyond their nose. And I would like to make challenge all these leaders. This is a good beginning. I'm really very happy to get this forum. Kaisan tetaniti namchakaftani. Yogar karumba chufedan garte. Olum kana tamalle toko ngayama wow de fada. See whether they see whether they can even express themselves. And you can see the caliber of people who are running around doing rallies and making a lot of what? A lot of noise all over without any clear what? Any clear plan. Okay? Yo is in Nairobi and I'm very sure majority of you have been to Nairobi. You have seen Jamia Mosque, is it? Mini opposite Jamia Mosque Suka. ICA building, is it? That ICA building has been bought by the university. It is JK Water Towers. That was done by myself. I was controlling a portfolio of 6 billion Kenya shilling. Taka corruption imagaki ya yu gardani. Inga And JKU told me this, you are going for politics, you can have the camp. The next day you will be back to the payroll. So uji barbada lema akuminsu JKU at bitetin ICA building turn into JKU at towers. Definitely I am going to have a lot of other infrastructure development within Marsabit and the larger Marsabit County. Tanamale sawarmoya letiniti. Watok daga nama madale njene. I don't see, statistics in the case better, there's that random vote. Sample. Man is such of Sololo. What is exactly happening? Who can tell me why? In Sololo, if you go there, a standard 3 people during break time discuss about politics. You don't understand that 3 months. What politics is, but then the moyale they are really, innocent. Governor you know the funny thing? Sololo Lachla, Governor Urani Rufai. Bungan Uran. Leader of majority, no. Uran. What do you want to do? So, Danki, the Commissioner Kero Resalu. Uran. Tukajir Mole Resalu. Golol, which is still Uran. Who can tell me what exactly? What is that? Is a worry Uran people? Worry and pride relative data, which is still okay, but it is because no akijole war moyaleti ilamne we are going back. So namifuli sambeku injiru. Arm chief tani am youth empowerment tetani and empowering is antoch. They don't even know you. They don't know you. Nami maskina ijolen orphany ingartanity. Mheshimiwa Ganicha cannot recognize them if you are from Moyale. The governor, he has no idea. Namkuno amantang jalguru mesa kan tap shiroman rabe. Lokan jalsum garajogar jarti so that yet to that's where I married from. Manimbe. They don't know even that landscape. The time when the late Mheshimiwa Mohammed Galgalo was the MP for Moyale. Mohammed Galgalo is walking all over. One in Kaka Mufuko Harkeke Safrachuma Dandet. You will get me. My brother is here. He's a deputy principal here. I cannot escape from anyone. Myself, I know many people here. And I'm a commoner here. You're at resource for Rafagesity. Bijinarati. Sit resource for Rafages. Akarafu, Commissioner Kelole invite her. Chakasale, Isale, Pakadasa. Gaf chakasitanile koito to gafa dawa wari uran mama. Yaw amalle. Abana mole dupanu. Guya haju fi ate aram kesati wala rapsiti. Arkesa wala rapsiti. Wari moyale wana rabale kamnu nata kawana rabam tu na manje jagartadi. I think one of the first, quality of a leadership is your demeanor is very important. How you deliver and project yourself to the people, to the public is very important. Ingataniti, you are in army stating Abshiron Sulembiti. Akfede, Yabi Hibalese, Yawan, Ibatae, Laftia is right chapter, Sunina Rabanit, Upunguisa, poor performance, Jechu Jirunu, Amo Abshiro, Ate Akanjir in Jeruna. Atisa, it's my mother. Abshiron Bitakana, Kanjira, Jechu Zanta, Kelo Kanjira. We don't say that. We respect people. And that is the beginning of what? The quality of leadership. So, with that, sorry, I've taken a lot of your time. I think I take this opportunity to thank all of you and promise I'm going to deliver but one thing. My agenda on youth, which I've just explained, Armati Lakim, can we organize to have a clear format or framework of how we can deliver? I'll be meeting 300 youths in Merile as I go back. Let's have a clear framework of what needs to be done and have an MOU signed by a lawyer so that we go by that. One, can you have a lawyer? We sign an MOU with you so that we can deliver our program for youth empowerment.